Hello and welcome to Feast One's Eyes on Goodies. This TEMU haul has 5 different items that I'm doing a full review on. I'll show how things work. Right at the end I've got 2 watches. Now, one of the things that has been sent is this car vacuum cleaner, and this has been on social media quite a few times, and so this is one that I actually requested to have a look at. So I'm just going to get this out the box and we'll just see what's in there. Right, so here it is, the vacuum cleaner for your car. Now this plug goes into your cigarette lighter attachment, and then you've got a couple of small attachments here, and then the machine. Now it does feel quite light in its construction. I haven't took this apart or had a look at it, but what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do a separate video on this, and we're going to see actually how it does work in my car. Now I'm just inside my car and I'm going to have a look at filming and seeing how this vacuum cleaner works in here. So I'll get it plugged in and we'll have a look at it. Now I've just taken the vacuum cleaner out of the box, and as you can see it's got an immensely long lead to it. It's also got a plug on here which has got to go into my cigarette socket, so I'll do that next. My cigarette socket is in my glove box. This is the glove box just down on here, and so I've attached the vacuum into this. Start it up and see what happens. Now you might get a little bit of background noise because I've had to start the engine in order for this to work, to get the power through my 12-volt socket, but here goes. First time turning it on. Well, that sounds pretty powerful. Now, one of the other things is, while I'm filming this, it's -2 outside, so it's quite cold. But so there might be a little bit of mist or steam coming off things, but sounds quite powerful. What's the suction like on this? Doesn't seem too bad at all. Let me put my hand over it. Well, I'm picking it up and it's holding onto my hand, as you can see. So the suction is not too bad at all. Now I've just put the first attachment on here, and what I'm going to do is, where you've got your cup holder, I'll just give that a quick clean. However, my car is quite new, so it's not dirty at all, but here goes. Now as you can see, it reaches down quite well in there. Just in the front of the car down here is another little cup holder, so again I'll give that a clean around. Now this does seem to work quite well. Construction wise, it's very light plastic. As you can see, there is a container here to catch all the debris as well. I'll take this apart in a minute so you can have a look at it. I've just taken this apart. It unclips quite easily, and there you can see there's a little filter and a little place to catch all the debris as well. So again, very functional. Now there's another little attachment which is this brush, and again quite a handy little thing for just cleaning into all those little awkward places, especially ones just underneath and around by the seats. Now I mentioned that my car was quite new, and I didn't really want to throw a load of dirt into the car just to vacuum things up. So I've borrowed this video. Now, this is on the TEMU website, and as you can see, it's the vacuum, the one that I'm just showing you, working at how it's sucking things up, and it does seem to do exactly what it says on the box. This is one of the items I've been sent by TEMU, and it's a rotary cleaner come little scrubber, and I'm going to try this by giving this surface a little clean here, and we'll just see how it does. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this stuff here, which is the pink stuff, and I'll put a bit on there, and then I'll just wet this, put it on, and then we'll see how it works. Now on the back of this cleaner, little button down here, and when you press it, starts. Oh, bit of a splash just to start off with. Now this has 3 cleaning modes to it, so it's on its first one, that's the second one, and it's quite powerful, to be quite honest. So just going up and down the lines on here, just see how this works out. And I'm just going to now put it on its last speed, and this is really fast. I mean, it just flies around and about. Now, as I'm using this, I'm kind of like learning that you don't need to apply too much pressure. You just let it flow around. And it is quite a powerful little device. I'm going to stop that. I'll give this a wipe over and then we'll have a look and see if it's cleaned it up any good. Now I've just gave the surface a wipe over with this cloth, and this was clean before. You can see it certainly brought some surface grime or dirt off there, and just give this a final little buff. Now I would say that has brought that up beautifully. So up to now, I would say that that's a little bit of a winner. Now what I've done this time is I've changed heads on this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the inside of this small little drainer here, and again I'll use a little bit of the pink stuff, so I'll just load this up and then we'll have a look at this in action. Now we're all ready to go, and I've just got it on the first speed at the moment. So I'm just cleaning around and about with this. One of the reasons I wanted to use this one now is because you can get down, right the way down in here. Just give it a little go. Turn the speed up, so it's on its second speed now. Just trying to be as thorough as I can while I'm doing this. And let's go for the third speed. At third speed, it almost pulls it out of your hand, so it is quite powerful. Right, so that's that done. I'm going to give this a little wipe and we'll see how this looks now. I've just turned the microfiber cloth over so it's quite clean on this part, and let's just see what it gets off. Now I know I've got the pink stuff, which is quite a good produce as well, but look at this. It really has cleaned the surface up very, very nicely. So again, that's got to be a good pass, hasn't it? Look at this, folks. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this big sink out, and I've changed the brush over, so I've now gone for this pad, and the pad seems to polish things quite nicely. So I'm going to load this up with a bit of pink stuff and then we'll see how it goes. So just turn this on. It's on its first speed. Put it straight onto the second speed because I think it does a bit better job with that. I'm just polishing the sides of the sink. Now obviously this is a stainless steel sink, and I'm going to turn it right the way on now and put it on the third speed, and that really does seem to cut in quite nicely. Let's go up and down here a little way. Now as I'm doing this, I realise that you don't need too much pressure. It's quite easy to use this. No, it hasn't taken long to do this at all. Just pop this down here and clean the inside. Right, I'll stop this and give it a wipe and we'll see how it looks. Now again, I'm using another clean part of this microfiber to do this, and just wiping the surface down here. Go inside. Now I can already see visibly that that is a lot cleaner. Now you could argue, yes, you're using a nice product as well, but with this rotary one, it does make life easier to use. So yes, I am dead impressed with this. When you look at this on here, I'm quite concerned about, can I buy more of these, because they will eventually wear out. So that's something that we're going to have a look at. And you can see how this actually attaches on here as well. So it just pushes in and out. And it's the same with this other brush as well. And I should imagine in the bathroom that would work really well. So I'm going to give that a 100% pass. This is an ironing pad I've been sent from TEMU. Now on their site, these cost just about £1, so you can have a look in the description below, click on the link. Now all you're doing with this is you just pop your hand inside here, and then the silver side, as you see at the moment, is this side that you will iron on. Now I'm pretty sure that this is not going to replace a proper ironing board, but for little jobs it may do the job great. So let's have a look at this in a little bit of detail. Now this is the iron that I'm going to use to start off with, and it's quite a big powerful steam iron. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shirt, and I'll just try and iron the collar and a few other bits and pieces, and we'll see how it actually works with this. Now for the purpose of this experiment, I've got a t-shirt here, and it's not long come out of the wash, and I'm using my big iron here. Got the pad on my hand. This is the first time I'm going to do this, so I hope I'm not going to burn myself. And just trying this, and that seems to work quite well. Now the interesting part is though, although there's a lot of heat on here, there's not much going through to my hand. So I would say on small little items like this, it's not bad at all. Now this is another shirt, and I just want to iron the collar, and what I've done is I put the iron onto a cotton setting, and here we go. So I'll just run this over and we'll see how it actually works. And while I'm doing this, I have to say I don't feel any heat on my hand, so that's quite a relief. So it is working well. Now the iron you're looking at here is a travel iron, and it's one of these that opens up, and so you can iron things. But I think with the pad and travel, it might work a little bit better, especially if you just want to pop this in your suitcase. So we'll give this a go with this and we'll see how it works. Now I've put the travel iron setting onto cotton, and I'm just going to try this and just iron again, just a collar, just quickly, just to see how well this works. And again, no problem whatsoever, and no heat coming through to my hand, which I'm pleased about. So it works well, and I think with a travel iron, if you want something that's easy just to iron on or to use as an ironing pad when you're travelling abroad, it's ideal. Now, taking the idea of travel and using a travel iron a little bit further, I've hung a shirt up on a hanger, and I'm using the pad, just the back here, and we'll just see how this works on a hanger. Now, I did find when I was trying it on the ironing board, it was a little bit difficult to iron, but here it does seem to work quite well. And again, heat transference through to my hand is negligible, and the results I'm getting off here are pretty good actually. So maybe hanging up your clothes is the ideal answer, especially if you're on holiday. So on holiday, one of these and this seem to work pretty good. To sum up my review of this handheld ironing pad, it works really well. In certain circumstances it would be ideal, and as I've mentioned, if you're on holiday, well wow, I think this is a must that you can take with you. Can I recommend it? Well, for certain circumstances, yeah. It's not going to replace the ironing board, that's for sure, but again, for small items it does work quite well on it. Now, I have put a link in the description below, and if you'd like to look on TEMU, you can see the current price on this, but at the moment they're retailing at just about £1, which for what it is, it's really good. This is a watch that I've bought off the website TEMU, and it's a POEDAGAR. Now this watch cost £13.98, and that was including delivery as well. So let's have a look at this watch in a lot of detail. Now, as a fashion watch, this looks quite nice, and let's go through a few of the things with this. So first of all, the case of the watch. Now the case is in black, and it's like a black enamelled finish, and it is finished very good. I love the bezel around the outside because it's got that diamond shape to it, and again, very, very attractive on it. Now the case, I would guess, would be an alloy case on it. The face of the watch is in black, and all the indices are raised and they are in gold. Now you'll see that on the 12 o'clock and the 6, they're in Roman numerals, but when you look at the 1 o'clock and over here at the 5 o'clock, you'll see that they are in a small diamond shape, and they've got a little diamond in the middle. Now I know it's not a real diamond, but it just makes it look quite attractive. You'll see that the logo and name are all in gold, and they're raised as well, and even where you've got keep up with the global fashion down here, it's very legible. So again, that's good for the price of the watch. The hands on the watch go down into a nice sharp sword blade shape, and you'll see that there's some loom running down the centers of them, and the second hand just sweeps around there. It does fall a little bit short of the second track that just goes around the outside, but nevertheless, for the price of the watch, it's good. The crown on the watch is only 5mm, and it's unsigned. Now, another nice feature of this watch is the date window, and it's framed and it's in gold. It does look very nice. And then you've got your date underneath, and you've got the individual days like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the dates on the other side, and I'll show you how to set those in a moment. To set the time on this POEDAGAR, you pull the crown out to its final click, and then all you're having to do is adjust this. Now, as this is a quartz watch, you'll see that the second hand has stopped, and once you've adjusted it, all you're having to do is push it all the way back in, and the time is set. And you'll see again now the second hand just starts to work as it should do. To adjust the dates on here, you pull this crown out to its first little click, and then as you turn it clockwise, you'll see that the days start to change. Just gone past Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on with this. Then if you go the opposite direction, so this is now anti-clockwise, you'll see that the date changes. And again, for quite a cheap watch, this is quite a nice feature. With this POEDAGAR, the glass has good clarity, but as to the quality of it, I really can't say on that one. And I also can't really comment on whether it has good scratch resistance. This is the loom on the POEDAGAR fashion watch, and you can see it's got loom pips around the outside which are quite bright, and then you've got some loom on the hands of the watch as well. Now just turn the watch over so you can have a quick look at the back of the watch. You can see it's a stainless steel back on there. It's got the engraved logo and name of the watch. It's got 3 ATM as a water resistance on it, and again that's just going to be for light hand washing, but it's all finished nice. The dimensions of this watch are, the case across here is 41mm. From lug to lug it's 50mm. Now the thickness of the watch is 11mm. The buckle down at the end over here is 8mm, and as I've already mentioned, the crown is 5mm. To size the POEDAGAR up for my 7¼ inch wrist, I've taken out 4 of these links, and I have to say they are finished really well. And what I like with these as well, I just hope that this is picking up on my camera, is you'll see that you've got arrows just pointing up here, so it actually gives you an indication of where you push the pins through. The bracelet on this watch complements the face and the bezel lovely. It's got solid end links down here, and as you can see it has this diamond effect that goes through the whole of this. It really does look very, very nice. It's got a nice little butterfly catch on here that works quite well. So all in all, for the price again, it's quite good value. The size of the bracelet at the top here in between the lugs is 22mm, and then right down at the bracelet down here it's 19.5mm. Now just having a look at this POEDAGAR fashion watch on my 7¼ wrist, and it looks nice. It actually fits good. I mentioned that I've taken 4 links out, and there's plenty of room here if you've got a much larger wrist, so that's quite nice on it. But overall, again, I do like the watch and I think it looks very attractive. The other nice thing about this, as it's slim, it will fit under the cuff quite nicely. To sum up my review of this POEDAGAR fashion watch, for £13.98, I think it's a really great buy, so I'm definitely going to recommend this. I bought this watch off a TEMU website, and it's a POEDAGAR, and the box is quite nice, and the watch inside is a quartz watch, so I'll get this out and we'll have a look at this in a lot of detail. The cost of this watch was £13.98, and that was also including delivery. The case on this watch is in a rose gold and it's alloy, and as you can see it's finished very, very nicely. It's got raised crown guards on the side here. Just turn this over so you can have a little look, but polish wise very nice, and I like these little raised edges. It just makes it a bit more individual. The face on the watch is in grey, and again that's quite a nice colouring to it. Now the indices are bars and they're all slightly raised and they're in rose gold. The dial at the very top here is just an artificial one, so it's just there for decoration, and the same applies to this round one at the bottom. Now you'll also see there's a date complication over on there, and the date complication has been slightly recessed, and then you've got this white date running through the centre of it. The hands on the watch are, on here you have an almost sword blade one, so that's on the hour one, and on the other side here, which is the minutes, you can see that it goes down into an arrow point. The second hand on here is in gold and goes into a needle point, but you'll also see that it follows the track around the outside of the watch face really nicely. To set the time on this watch, all you're having to do is pull this out to its final click and then just adjust this. Now this is very, very loose when you go to do this, but you can set it quite accurately. To set the date, pull the crown out to its first click, and then all you're having to do is turn this clockwise, and you can just see the dial rotating around. Once you've got the date set, just push it back in again. The dimensions of this watch are, the case across here is 44mm, right? With the crown guard it goes up to 46mm. The crown is 5.5mm. The thickness of this watch is 11mm, and lug to lug is 50mm. The strap at the top of the watch is 22mm, so it's just across here, and it tapers down to 18mm. Now just having a look at the back of the watch, and the case is in stainless steel. It's a push down case, it's not a screw on case. You've got the name and the logo on the back here. It tells you it's in stainless steel, and there's some water resistance. The water resistance is to 3 AMT. The strap on the watch complements the face, so you've got the same colouring, and it's quite a nice strap. I'll just turn this around to the other side so you can have a look, and it says that it's in genuine leather. It's fairly flexible, so it's not too bad at all. When you consider the price of this watch, you know, what you're getting here is something that's quite decent for the price. Looking at the POEDAGAR on my 7¼ inch wrist, it looks pretty good. You know, again, you've got to consider the price of this watch, but with its strap, it does look good. To sum up my review of this watch, well, it's a very affordable watch, that's for sure. And it's got some nice looks, it's got some nice little features. I do like the date complication on here. So if you want something that's reasonably priced, tells the time and looks nice on the wrist, then yes, I can recommend this.
Please like and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.